जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी
जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी
राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी
जय राधा माधवा
जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी
जय गोपी जन वल्लभा
जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी
गोपी जन वल्लभा
यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन
यशोदनन्दन भज जन रञ्जन
यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन
यशोदानन्दन भज जन रञ्जन
यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन
यशोदानन्दन भज जन रञ्जन
यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन
यशोदानन्दन भज जन रञ्जन
यमुनातीरावनचारी
यमुना तीरावनचारि
यमुनातीरावनचारी
यमुना तीरावनचारि
जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी
जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे
जय प्रभुपदाय 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 शिल प्रभुपदाय
जय प्रभुपदा 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 श्रीला प्रभुपदा
जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव
जय जय गुरुदेव
Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Harinam Sankirtan Yajna ki
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari
Hari Hari Bol.
Thank you very much, dear devotees. So we'll begin with the Mangalacharan. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjalashalaakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatha Vitam Tam Tajivam Sarvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Vitamscha He Krishna
Padana Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpati
Gopesha Gopika
Anta
Radha Kanta Namosute Tapta Kanchana Rangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhya Kripa Upadeva Pitana Devo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita
Gadadhara Sivasadi Bhakta-vrinda.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So thank you very much, dear devotees, for joining our session. So as you know, we are discussing from Nectar of Instruction, also known called Sri Updeshamrita. So our discussion has concluded last week on verse number 5.
Right.
So today we'll begin with verse number 6. So there are connection between verse 5 and 6, right? So what was there in verse 5? Anybody can recall? Anybody who's online? What is described in verse 5?
So, Prabhu, different levels of the devotions like Uttamadhikari, Madhyamadhikari, and Kanishtadhikari.
Yes. Yes. So it was about different types of devotees, different levels of devotees, and how we should engage with them, how we should behave with them.
Right.
Right. So this is in next level of where what should be the vision of a devotee. If we are a devotee, what should be our vision? How should we see things? How should you see others? That is what we will be going to learn in this particular chapter. Okay. So this is a very, very wonderful instruction that we can see in this. Great. So we see very, very wonderful things in this. Primarily, as a devotee, we should always see, everybody equal, right? Prabhupada had that vision that he was able to see a devotee in a hippie, who was taking drugs, who was taking alcohol, but he was able to see that he can be devotee, can be uplifted. So that was the mood of Prabhupada, So mood of Prabhupada is like that. And since we are in the same parampara, we should also we should put an endeavor to develop that mood. That not outkato is not doing anything, he's not bhajan, so he may not be devotee. Yeah, today he may not be doing bhajan. Tomorrow he'll be a great sannyasi, we never know. Right? So we should be very careful of how we deal with the people in general, regardless of whether they are devotee, they are non-devotee. And these particular words emphasizes on that part of things. Okay. So we have some very interesting facts, but I think where is she's here? Oh, Alia is coming. Okay. So we have Hina Mataji and family and Sri Ram Krishna Prabhu and family have joined us in person here. And so once she comes, we'll start something because I want her to take part. I put the slides in the beginning for the kids so they can actively engage in this.
Oh, that would be great.
Okay. So you can also answer. Okay. Huh? Yeah. Okay. So let us see what all you can see. All right, I'm going to bring something on the screen. Now you have to answer. Okay. And everybody can answer. Okay. Online person, you don't start answering. You raise your hand. So I'll tell you whether to answer or not. Because you see something suddenly you start answering. All right. So let's see. Okay. How many legs elephant has got? Who's?
How many legs?
How many legs?
Can you answer?
Can you see how many? Is it elephant first of all?
No, it's not.
It's not elephant?
It's a dog.
Where's the dog? Where's the dog?
Okay, how many legs does it have?
Four? You sure?
But
Yeah, I know. But how many are there in this picture? Somebody has drawn it, like, some baby has drawn.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 legs and 5 legs. Look at the paws. Paws, they could be.
Oh, somebody has raised hand. So
six.
6. Okay. Somebody has raised. Okay. Bilas Prabhu, you raise your hand and let me know how many legs you see here.
Yeah, so this looks like, Prabhu, this is an optical illusion. Actually, there are 4 legs for sure, but this looks like 5 legs.
Yeah, it looks like 5 legs, but it's illusion. So we'll first go through the quiz and then we'll come back. What is this? Okay. Thank you. So very nice. Next. Okay, get ready for next. Okay, here, next one. Next one is for you. Miraya, for you now. Okay. So Miraya will get the first chance. Only after she cannot, then it will go to somebody else. Okay. So Miraya, which line is longer?
Which line is longer? The top line is longer or the bottom line is longer?
Line.
Top line is longer
Sure.
or the bottom line is longer?
Which is long?
Bottom line? Okay, which one?
Which one? Ali?
The bottom line.
The bottom line is longer. Are you sure?
I think they're both equal. It's and
Okay, Mata, I think both are equal. What do you think? Are they equal? Or this?
Looks like
Bottom is longer? Okay, bottom is longer. That's what this says. Actually, they are this. Sri Ram Prabhu is still trying, like, putting some.
they are equal.
He put his transcendental eyes. Sri Ram Prabhu was putting his transcendental eye by pulling this and then, okay, tell me.
Spiritual message in it.
If you twinkle your eyes, you can see that like both.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
So both are equal.
Prabhu wanted to look at that lines with eternal eyes.
Internalize, correct. Sri Ram Prabhu wanted to see from internalize. Yeah, so he was able to give that vision that both are equal. So,
Prabhuji,
yes.
it looks like the top one is longer because if you see the top one, that is extending on both the directions, but the bottom one is contracting from both the directions, right?
This
So
is,
the
this is again, yeah, this is again that.
Already seen
The
this.
mathematics.
If I give the correct answer, it will look like a bias. It looks like the second line is longer.
Yeah, but they are all same.
Same.
These both are same. Yeah, thank you for that. But this is how our vision is. So we keep looking, because this chapter is on how we see things. So we have to go through this kind of exercise. Okay. Maybe you can bring the chair there. So you are okay. Okay. Next one is how many arrows are there? Or do you see white arrows? Or this is all black arrows? Do you see white arrows or is only black arrows?
So now you said white.
Yeah, then you
white. But earlier on, if you wouldn't have said white.
You would have seen only black.
Yeah.
I can't see any white.
You can't see?
There are just 4 white arrows.
Okay, good. How many black?
Online, anybody want to comment? Do you see black arrows only or what do you see?
I see black arrows only, Prabhu, and there are total 6 arrows.
Oh, he's saying 6 arrows?
Four windows.
Yes.
Four white arrows, Prabhu. 4 white arrows.
Vilas Prabhu says he's saying 6 arrows. I was saying,
Yeah,
where is 6?
because if you break the bidirectional arrows, so let's say for each one, there are the black one I'm referring to. So there is one bidirectional arrow, and then if you break that into two sides, so then each line you have 3 arrows. So 3, 3, 6.
I am really amazed with this. Okay, so he is explaining 6 arrows. Please hear. Okay, here is saying 6 arrows. Let's hear. Vilas Prabhu, can you say that again? I'm little.
Yeah. So for each black arrow, Prabhu, there is a black bidirectional arrow, and then if you break that into one unidirectional arrow, then it will be 3 arrows, right? So there will be in fact like one complete line,
Okay.
one bidirectional and 2 unidirectional.
And then
So-
small for 4. Okay, that's saying 6. Okay, so now see, you see vision, everybody has got different vision. He's saying 6 black arrows. Prabhuji is saying you got 4 white arrows. Somebody saying 4 black arrows. So you see now how things are changing for everybody. It is different. Picture is same.
But when
Right.
you think something, the other one
Ah.
then you say that they're wrong.
Correct.
You think in your mind
Exactly.
that
This
they're
is the point that we want to discuss today. But this is how it comes up. Okay, the next one. All right, ready? Vidya, ready? We put it only for you today. Okay. So young or old? What do you see? Young lady or old lady? Old lady? Oh, gray hair too. All right. All right. Let's see. I will show you where is old and where is old new. What do you see here? Oh, young lady.
It's because of the angle.
I think, yeah.
Mostly it's the angle, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Wearing something like a star.
So you're saying young.
I'm saying
Okay,
yeah.
you're saying old.
Young.
Oh, young. Okay. So you say Prabhuji is saying old. What do you see there? Online?
Prabhuji, it's a combination of young and old.
He wants binary answers.
Yeah.
Prabhuji now understood the logic. These are both are there. He understood the logic of the quiz. He's saying both are there. Okay, so you see. All right. Well, I will use the pointer that will help you. Okay. Now, when you focus on these as her teeth or lips, then you see this as old.
Yes.
If the same line, if you see as her neckline, then you see that as a young.
How do you see it as old Prabhuji? What do you think of
No,
it?
this one, this is her nose.
Okay.
This is eye. This is eye. And this is her mouth. So this is an old. When you see it that way, this looks like an old.
And the
But
neck of the young is the chin of the old.
if you see this neck
Oh.
is
Now I see.
now you see that?
Oh, now I see.
So this is again, yeah, this is how we see the world. And say, no, it's old, it's old, no, it's both combination. You able to see that? Alia? Alia can see.
Yeah, she's right.
This is her eyes, this ear, and this is her face. If you see this young, and this is her scarf, not white, gray hair. But when you see this as her lips or face, then you see this as her gray hair, and that's an old lady. So that's an old
And
combination.
eyes of the old is ears of the young.
Yeah, correct. Eyes of the eye of a old lady is a ear of a young lady. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, the eyes, and then.
This is nose, and this is her mouth.
This is the lips, and that's the
That's
nature
eye
shape.
shape.
Because.
That's how it is created, the creativity illusion. All right. Next one. All right, next one. So he's young or old?
Oh, upside down.
This is looks old lady.
Oh, it's young, it's young, it's young.
He's young? How?
Perverted reflection.
Look at we have somebody going upside down, Shirshasana and seeing, and then oh, this is young. That's very smart way of looking at it. Yes, Ram Prabhu, your side, perverted reflection. So look at this same picture turned upside down. Same picture is young and old. See that difference? The next one, okay? Alia did a good job. Very nice. Next one. Is happy or sad? He's like from. He's seeing like this. Huh? Sri Ram Prabhu is trying to do Srisharan now.
Prabhuji looks like he's angry.
He's angry. Yeah, he's angry. He's angry. Well, look at this. He's so easy. He's like, so this is how the things are in this world. Same thing is there, but everybody is seeing very differently.
Different views.
There are different views because number of people, number of views that we see. But a great devotee, Paramhamsa, is one who sees everyone equal. He does not see he is not a devotee, he's a malacha, he's a dog, he does nothing of that sort. Right. So this is the vision that we should create if you want to advance in Krishna consciousness. Now it is not that it will come overnight through practice, through sadhana, it will come through blessings of Vaishnavas. When we serve Vaishnavas, these things can happen. So therefore, I just put it across because so that we understand the mood of the shloka. The shloka is going to talk about the vision of a Vaishnava and how we should see things around us. And we'll see from some examples from the Shastra that how certain things have caused problems in lives of devotees. Now, in this shloka, particular thing, what it is being talked about is that let's go to shloka first, then we'll come to other things because then we understand. So we can recite Drashtre Swabhava Janiter Vapushascha Doshair
Drishtai Savaba Janiter Vaposascha Dasar
Na Prakrutatva Maya Bhakta Janasya Pashyet
Na Prakratavam Yahya Vapata Janasya Pasayat
Gangam Bhasam Nakulu Budufena Pankhe
Ganga Vashana Kulubudva Fena Panke
Brahma Dravatam Apagachati Niradharme.
Brahma Dravatam Apagachati Niradharma.
Okay. So anybody online would like to read the translation?
Sure, Prabhu.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Being situated in his original Krishna conscious position, a pure devotee doesn't identify with the body. Such a devotee should not be seen from materialistic point of view. Indeed, one should overlook a devotee having a body born in a low family, a body with a bad complexion, a deformed body, or a diseased or infirm body. According to ordinary vision, such imperfections may seem prominent in the body of a pure devotee, but despite such seeming defects, the body of a pure devotee cannot be polluted. It is exactly like the waters of the Ganges, which sometimes during the rainy season are full of bubbles, foam, and mud. The Ganges waters do not become polluted. Those who are advanced in spiritual understanding will bathe in the Ganges without considering the condition of the water. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. So this verse, this translation itself explains everything if you go into deeper. But we still need to understand more. Prabhupada wrote a very long and elaborate purport to explain every beat of it. It's very, very wonderful. So Shuddha Bhakti is the activity of the soul. It is activity of soul. In other words, what we can see is that engagement into transcendental loving service of Krishna, is performed in liberated condition. Only if you're liberated, then we can perform this very nicely. Otherwise, it is all karma mishra bhakti, all mixed and all that. Right? So when we look at these things, okay, here. So let's look at this verse from Bhagavad Gita to understand this statement. Okay. So here, let us read this. Mam chayo vyabhicharena
Mam chayo vicharena
bhakti yogena sevate
bhakti yogena sevayate
sagunan samatityetan
saguna samatitayetan
brahma bhutaya kalpate.
brahmavutaya kalpate.
Please read translate.
One who engages in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, at once transcends the modes of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman.
Yes. So here there is a word which is used in this shloka. Avyabhicharini bhakti means unalloyed devotion. Unalloyed. We should not have any material expectation. Today, when we begin bhakti, we always have something. If I do this, I will get this. You know, we discussed about this last in a previous class. There, people go to temple to expect something in return. I will give you something. You know, give me more. So we give, or we expect something to happen. Then say, okay, I will give you something. So it's like a business. It's exchange, right? But here, a business exactly, Mata. Yes. Unalloyed devotion means not expecting anything. Only then the devotion can be considered as pure. Anya abhilashita shunyam, as Rupa Goswami says. We should not have any expectation when we perform this bhakti. The only thing that we should think of that, how I can love Krishna, how I can serve Krishna. Whatever activity I do, it should be for Krishna, for the pleasure of Krishna. Whether I am feeling happy, I am feeling comfortable, that is not the case. We should try to go to that level. We should gradually progress to reach to that goal. That should be our ultimate aim of life. Anything else that we do is not going to be very conducive for bhakti. Unless we keep our consciousness in such a pure state of mind where we want to serve Krishna, we want to serve the devotees of the Krishna, and just do that activity, then things can happen. So only by that we can reach that level. That's what it says. And that's very important for our Krishna conscious journey. Let's look at another verse, which is also very important because this is going to help us discussion on today's verse. So let us read this. Apichet suduracharo
Abhisetu sudoracharo
bhajate mam ananya bhak
vajate mamananyavak
sadureva samantyavyaha
adure avasantamaho
samyak vyavasito hi saha.
Shamba vavasito hisa.
Yeah, anybody would like to? Can you read the translation? Are you will see? Yeah.
Even if one commits the most abominable action, if he is engaged in devotional service, he is considered saintly because he is properly situated in his devotee.
So this is, thank you very much. So here, a very, very important point is given. Many times, we as a devotee, we end up committing this Vaishnav aparad, offenses against Vaishnav. We see people in that particular condition and say, oh, he's not doing it right. We don't understand what's going on in their mind. And from external behavior or activity, we think he's doing something wrong. And we immediately give, we are all judgmental. We are very quick to reach a judgment and conclusion that, oh, he's not good, he's not doing his sadhana. Immediately we say that. Somebody come to temple and we see he doesn't have a big bag, he's not chanting with, oh, what is this? He has come, he's doing nothing. He's come, but we don't know, he's doing bhajan all day, right? We never know about it. And without that, we think like that. Somebody who is not able to come for Mangala Aarti and Janmashtami, we think, oh, he's sleeping at home. We don't know what is he doing. But we don't know whether he is awakened through whole night and he's been chanting and now he's offering Mangala Aarti in home. How does it matter? We don't know, but we think like this. This thought come across our mind. And that is not good. That is not conducive. Here Krishna says that even if somebody commits an abominable activity, he should still be considered as a devotee. Many times we see a devotee in a poor condition, right now, not materially very opulent, or is having diseases, body is disfigured. We think that, oh, maybe is karma, Prabhu karma. We think like that. oh, because of that he's suffering. That's our mind. But we never know, they are pure devotees. Now today, by looking at His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, somebody is saying, oh, he's suffering so much, he's having paralysis, he can't speak. We think, Prabhu, this is really, how is Krishna is treating? But look at his purity. He's such a pure devotee. One particular pastime of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj I would like to share. Is that once, Jayapataka Maharaj he lives in Mayapur most of the time, right? As you know.
Yeah.
And Jananivas Prabhu and Pankajangiri Prabhu, who are brother now, Pankajangiri Prabhu is no longer with us. He left his body because of the COVID last year. So when he came, Maharaj always comes and takes darshan of Radha Madhav and Ashtasakhi. It's a very beautiful altar is there. So he comes and he took darshan. And he prayed and then he went to his room. And after some time, Jananivas Prabhu came, because Jananivas Prabhu is a head pujari of the Radha Madhav. He does that all the time. He has been doing for last 3-4 decades. So they saw that there was a kadamba flower at the lotus feet of the Radha Madhav. And immediately asked him, who came here? Who has offered this? Because that flower doesn't grow it's not available very easily in Mayapur. And that day, nobody brought that flower. So how did flower came there? And Jananivas Prabhu asked, being a pujari, who brought this, who kept it here and all that. He says, we don't know, but Jayapataka Swami Maharaj was here. So Maharaj, he immediately understood. Maharaj offered this in his mind, that I want to offer this. And the flower was there at the lotus feet of Radha Madhav. So this is the purity. This is the purity. When Prabhupada was trying to cultivate devotees in India, he was trying to do that in Jhansi. He had an establishment and he had one devotee called Prabhakar. And the night, one day, Prabhupada was in a great ecstasy. And he was like dancing and all. And when Prabhakar came it was like very early morning, 2:30, 3 o'clock kind of thing. He came and saw and Prabhupada was crying. And in Prabhupada was wearing a garland of kadamba flowers. And in Jhansi, there is no way you can find kadamba flowers. So he says, Prabhakar, that Krishna actually came and garlanded Prabhupada. Now, how can we understand this? It is very difficult for us to understand. It's very difficult. But this is how the pure devotees are. In Mahabharata, there is a scene which comes in. After Rajasuya Yagya, Yudhishthira asks, how do I consider that the Yagya is successful? So Krishna told that everybody is happy with your Yagya. My conch shell will blow on its own. Nobody has to blow it. It will go in its own. It is here. Okay. So does anybody know what is the name of the conch shell of Krishna?
Panchajanna.
Panchajanna. Very nice. So पढ़ के आया हूँ, पढ़ा है, अच्छा है. So he said, my conch shell will blow on its own. And after everybody was fed, everything was given gift and charity so much. Yudhishthira Maharaj gave so much in charity to everybody, profusely. Conch shell did not blow. So he asked Krishna, what happened? What offense did I commit that he did not blow? Then Krishna says, there is one swapachak, one dog eater, one outcast who's living outside this village. He's not been treated well. So Yudhishthira Maharaj said, immediately, let's bring him. He sent Bhima, please bring him. Let's treat him well. When he comes, he washes his feet, treats him very nicely. Draupadi cooks for the food for him. Draupadi is cooking food. So very nice, opulent prasad was made. And now he is served in a golden plate. And this person comes and he mixes everything together. Chutney, payasam, sweets, rice, everything. And Draupadi, what is this doing here? I mean, Now you cook nice prasadam, you want everybody to taste different item and taste it and relish it. And he mixed everything together. And Draupadi started thinking, he's like an outcast, really, he doesn't understand. I cooked so much effort putting, he's been treated so nicely in this, and he's eating like this. He's really an outcast. That's what she thought in her mind. After he was fed and everything, he left. Again, the conch shell did not blow. Now, Yudhishthira, Krishna, what happened? He said, somebody committed an offense. Immediately, Draupadi said, yes, I thought in my mind, as he mixed his food together, I thought he does not understand. He's not he's, what is he doing? He's like a really outcast. That's why he's outcast. That's what she thought. So Krishna said, no, you just please go and ask him, why did he mix all those things together? You go and ask him, why did you mix all those things together? He said, I did not want to differentiate between what is good and what is bad, what is tasty and what is not tasty. I want to just mix it because it's a prasad. I just want to eat it together. So he had a very high consciousness towards prasad. But when we look at that outcast, he was thought as what? Oh, he doesn't understand how to eat things.
But we are the outcasts because we don't understand his.
So this is the mood. This is the problem. When we see things as it is and start thinking that, oh, this is what is, then there's a problem. In Chaitanya Charitamrita also, two stories comes in. One story is about the Brahman who was reading Bhagavad Gita, who had no idea about, he was not able to read Bhagavad Gita. He was like holding book upside down, right? He was holding upside down and he was just looking at the picture. And everybody thought, oh, he's like a madman. And people knew that he's illiterate. He cannot read. But still he was holding him. So nobody treated him well, that Brahman. But when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw that, he saw him as a great devotee. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked him, what do you see here in this? He says, I see that Lord is so merciful. He's so merciful. He's so compassionate that he has become charioteer of Arjun. And he is even, because in a war, when there's so much of commotion, there's so much of noise going on around, you cannot hear. Two people sitting 1 feet apart cannot hear each other. That's a noise level. So when Arjun want to take the chariot to the left, he will kick the Krishna's shoulder on the left side. So Krishna will take it to the left. When he has to go to right, he'll say, kick on the right side. And Krishna is so merciful. So this Brahman is crying, thinking that, oh my God, Krishna is so merciful that he has become a devotee. He's taking the kick of his devotee and serving him. How merciful my Lord is. And he's crying profusely. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced him and said, you have really understood the essence of this entire Bhagavad Gita. You have understood what devotion is. So by externally, we think he is illiterate. He doesn't know anything. But internally, he has actually absorbed the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Now to get that bhava ourselves, at least for me, it's going to take, I don't know, years, maybe births, we don't know. But that is the mood. Another story comes in Chaitanya Charitamrita about Vasudeva leper. And again, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in the Yatra, South India Yatra, he goes to a village where there is this Vasudeva leper, and that time leprosy had no cure. And just 400, 500 years ago, there was no cure for leprosy. Now we have some. So at that time, when somebody has a leprosy everybody knows, right? What happens, your fingers and body start melting, it decays. It's a very, very, very danger, and nobody wants to stay with them. I have seen when in my childhood, when beggar used to come, I'm talking about 30, 40 years ago. At that time also, there was no proper cure in India. So when they go, they will have hand, with cloth, and then they will have hand gone, nose sometimes gone, and their body is deformed. It's very ugly thing, we don't want to be, they are not taken bath for so many days, so it's smelling very bad, all those things. So this Vasudeva leper, because he had leprosy, he was outcast in the village. He was like, you cannot live in the village. When he came to know that Mahaprabhu has come, he somehow by crawling, by walking, because is in a very painful condition, and he was such a leper that, and he had so much affection towards all the Jivatma. We can see from his behavior that if a worm which is eating his own body falls down, he will pick it up and put it back, saying, "Oh, you have to survive." Imagine, just think about this scene, that he is the insect which are eating his body as a leprosy. He falls down, he'll pick it up and put it back, saying that, "Oh, you need to survive." So this is the condition he had, and everybody thought that, what is this? And he came crawling and crawling and crawling. So nobody gave respect, nothing. He was completely outcast. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, and he was there because he came slow because of the crawling over. Mahaprabhu had left that place already. And he was crying, "Oh, Mahaprabhu, I couldn't meet you." But again, Mahaprabhu came back. It was just a test at whether he will feel like the ecstasy or not. He felt, and Mahaprabhu embraced him. The moment Mahaprabhu embraced him, his body became beautiful, effulgent, young person in a moment like this. So then people were bewildered. What is this? But this is how people saw him, as what? As a leper, outcast. Nobody treated him with respect, everything. But Mahaprabhu, the Lord, saw that he is a devotee, embraced him, and brought him back to his original form. So we should have this kind of vision. Now, we cannot have that vision. We may not have that vision right now, but at least we can have a thought that I don't want to think that they are not the devotee. At least that much we can do, isn't it? We may not think that he is a devotee, not we still not reach the Paramhamsa level. But till the time we are not there. At least we have to say we are thinking that everybody is devotee. I don't want to consider that he is not devotee. I don't want to think like that. Otherwise, it's going to be a big problem. It's going to be a big impediment in our bhakti. It is given an example as a Vaishnava opera is like a mad elephant, activity of a mad elephant. When mad elephant comes, what it does? It approves everything. On its way, whatever has come, big, small, nothing stays there. Means all complete devastated place, right? So similarly, when we commit offenses, Vaishnava aparadh, our bhakti also gets completely devastated like that. This aparadh is like a mad elephant. It will come and uproot whatever that we have been doing. We will not be able to do our bhajan nicely. In fact, when we are not able to do our bhajan nicely, if we are not able to chant, if we are not able to do our sadhana, we are not able to read daily, follow the daily routine, then what we should do? We should think, what did I do? What did I do that I'm not able to do it? That's where Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to say this, that every Ekadashi we should think, we should rewind our past. So what all I have done? Was my bhakti good? Was I able to follow my daily routine? If I'm waking up at 4 o'clock, was I doing every day? What happened? Sometimes it can happen that we are not able to follow routine for various reasons, but we should always check why and try to come back to that routine. Every Ekadashi is our check and balance, not the end of the year accounting balance, not like that. In today's world, everything at the end of the year, people create the bank balance. What is that? Balance sheet. What is the loss and what is the gain, right? But we should check every 15 days as a devotee on the Ekadashi and see how I'm doing my bhajan and think of how I can improve it in the next 15 days. Then we can improve. Otherwise, improvement is very difficult to come in life. Very difficult. Right? So these are the things that we should always keep in mind, that we should have similar visions. So if we go back to this slide, which I wanted to show, which I was thinking about this, here. So we have what different types of visions are there, right? One is a separatist vision, and from there we have to reach to the level of transcendental vision that, Sriram Prabhu show us like how to see that. Go inside, then you can see it. So not from the external eyes, but from the internal eyes at what we should do things. So one who sees that interest as separate from that of Supreme Lord, my interest, not Supreme Lord interest, my interest. When I start seeing that, then I'm a separatist because I'm thinking separate from Krishna. Krishna is thinking in a different way. I'm thinking in my way. Because many times we think, oh, why things are not happening my way? It should happen my way. But Krishna has a better plan. Now we see these messages going on, good morning message, but hardly we follow any of that. There are very nice messages which comes in. I have a friend who keeps sending good morning and good night message every day. I don't send him any response, but he's been sending for 1 year. He sends diligently. He'll send. I said, okay, he's a friend. Let him be like that. Sometimes I send him Bhagavad Gita, Shloka, and all those things. But in those messages, we see this kind of things are always written. That we should have vision which is equal to Krishna, or especially when things are not happening in our way, we should think it is a Lord's plan, and Lord's plan is always better than our plan. It is always better than our plan. But because our plan is not met, and we don't know what Krishna's plan is, that gap that we see in between is called fear. What will happen? That's a fear. Now, that is what we need to overcome by coming into Krishna consciousness, doing our sadhana very nicely, sitting among devotees, associating with devotees, which will help us overcome this. So that fear can go away. Judgmental vision, we see things that, oh, he's like this, so he may not be a devotee. Oh, he's eating on, he's eating in the evening, too much prasadam he's eating. So about prasadam eating, there is a story in, again, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Ishwar Puri's brother, what is his name? Ramanand Puri? I don't know. But Ishwar Puri's brother. Ishwar Puri is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's guru, his guru. And his guru is Madhavendra Puri. So Ishwar Puri's brother was thinking that Mahaprabhu is a sannyasi, but he is eating too much. He is eating too much prasadam. And he developed this propensity because when Madhavendra Puri was leaving his body, he was crying profusely. He was crying that I am leaving. So he said, you are a Paramhamsa. You should not cry. He made that offense. And because of that, he developed a fault-finding tendency in anything that he saw around him.
Prabhu, what was the offense?
He offended the Madhavendra Puri by thinking that you are a Paramhamsa, you should not cry when you are dying. He was crying because he was thinking that I will now have to go, in different reasons. So he was judgmental. Then why are you crying? Why are you crying? So he committed an offense. I mean, Madhavendra Puri is a great Vaishnava, right? And Ishwar Puri is another great Vaishnava. And Mahaprabhu considered Ishwar Puri as his guru because he saw the devotional activity, not devotional, I would say, the servitude bhav in Ishwar Puri. The way Ishwar Puri served Madhavendra Puri, because when Madhavendra Puri is on a bed, because when in his old age he was not able to move, Ishwar Puri served him like anything. He did all the service. He cleaned him, he bathed him, he changed his clothes, everything he was doing. And therefore, looking at his Shishya Bhav, thinking that this should be my guru. And that's why Mahaprabhu chose him to be his guru. Now, his brother, I think I don't remember his full name, Ramanand Puri or something. But he committed that offense. Because of that, he kept on committing these offenses again and again. So when even Mahaprabhu was eating, he said, you are a sannyasi, you should not eat too much. You are eating too much. He's telling Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu is
So Ishwar Puri's brother said that.
yes, to Mahaprabhu, saying you are sannyasi, you are eating too much. And when he saw when Mahaprabhu was eating, there were some ants. Now in India, ants are very common. You see ants everywhere. You sit and ants will come. Isn't it? In South India, in the front of the door, they put that rice rangoli, right? Rangoli, what is that? Kolam or something? What is it? Kolam, right? Yeah. So they put, and it's very beautiful. Every day there is a different design. Very nice designs are there every day.
For the insect to eat.
Huh?
For the insects to eat.
Exactly. It is for that. It is for the ants and insects to come and eat it. It is for that reason. So that they don't come inside. And when they eat, they bless the home. That, oh, they have given us food here, so we bless the home. That is the purpose. So we don't understand this reason, oh, we put in Rangoli and we don't. But this is a
Just
real
for
reason.
beautification, no?
Yeah. It is doing both the thing. Beautification, the higher purpose is what? To feed those insects which don't have to go out and eat it. That's a higher purpose. So when things like that, the ants will automatically come there. And also ants don't come inside. Then they are getting food, the white birds should come inside.
Every morning they come and they come.
Yeah, I said we have food here, why don't want to go inside? In our home it will come because we are not putting outside.
We not doing
So when Mahaprabhu was taking prasad, ants were there gathered, around this plate. And when this Ishapuri's brother came, he said, "Oh, you are sannyasi, you are eating sweet." He thought he's eating sweet. But Mahaprabhu was not taking sweet. He said, "What are you doing? You are sannyasi." And he kept on committing offenses like that. After that, Mahaprabhu started eating very small morsels because he said, if somebody is telling me I should not do it. As a Mahaprabhu, he wanted to show that how a sannyasi should live. So even he did not take any offense. He did not take any offense. But thing is, what I'm trying to point out here is that if we commit offense, and if we commit offense towards a great Vaishnava, a pure Vaishnava, then our fall down will start. We will not be able to do bhakti. And we will keep doing again and again. It becomes our nature. It's become our habit. So this is what we should think of. We should not commit any offenses. So this is how this external vision can come. The external vision is that when we see that our vision is covered by external thing, when we see things externally, not internally, then this is the thing which can happen.
So Prabhu, offense is both ways. Thinking is
In your
also
mind and thoughts, and saying it out loud.
Thoughts is also an offense.
See,
Thinking is also an offense.
we are little lucky in Kali Yuga. We are fortunate to be in Kali Yuga, born in Kali Yuga.
There are no top trends in community.
Yeah. So in Kali Yuga, if you think in mind, it doesn't consider an offense unless you execute it. So we are lucky, saved. Krishna is very merciful. That because I'm sure we all are thinking something in our mind every day. I'm thinking, at least I know.
Or maybe a thought comes and then you try to, think
Yeah.
that, no, this is not the right
Correct.
thing. and I
But
should
thought has
not-
already come.
Yeah.
Thought has
So
already
hopefully
come.
we did not have that chance, right?
Yeah. Exactly. Mata is saying very rightly. Mata is said that the thought will come, then we think that this is not the right thought. I should suppress it. But thought has already come. So what to do? That means we are committing offense every second. See, there are 86,000 thoughts which comes in our mind every day. 97% of that are useless. This is a study, not my study. Scientific study. You can Google it out. 97% thoughts are useless. But we get them. So that's how the mind is. So mind has to be absorbed in Krishna consciousness. That's why this bead bag is here in our neck. We have to keep it here all the time. Hare Krishna. So we have to keep chanting. Because then mind will get occupied in that thought. Right? But even while chanting, our mind is
Yes, and by chanting also, it's very difficult to concentrate.
very difficult. Correct. Mata is very right. It is very difficult. Mind is going everywhere.
Don't disturb me.
Yeah. So but Krishna sees our sincerity. Krishna says, okay, your mind is going, but at least you are bringing it back. That's a good effort. You are genuinely trying it. But if he sway with the mind and Hare Krishna, oh, I'm here, Hare Krishna, next week I'm going on holiday, Hare Krishna, Hare. No, now Krishna thinks, oh, you are already there, then you better be there. It happens with us in a material world also, right? When we are in office, what happens? We think of home and family. And we are at home, we think, oh, tomorrow I have so much work. Because I did not focus in those 8 hours, I have to think of that in now. So this is what happens. And it's a very common problem for everybody, devotee, non-devotee, anyone. There's nothing like that. So, division vision is that where without Krishna consciousness, we want to enjoy, right? We want to enjoy without Krishna. And there is no oneness. we are simply dividing ourselves. The transcendental vision is only one thing which keeps us in Krishna consciousness. So we should see Krishna in everything and everything in Krishna. So when we see this, we become Samadarshina, Pandita Samadarshina. You see, everybody is the same, everybody is equal. So a devotee's vision should be like that we see everyone equal, no differentiation, devotee, non-devotee, he's from this sampradaya, he's from that sampradaya. We do so many times. But this must be, these are the lessons that we can learn. And similarly, other thing which here this mention about Ganges. One thing we can learn from Ganga is that when there's a lot of, I've been to Gaumukh, I've been to Gangotri and all that. When I see that the water is not very clean, it is flowing through, just come out a little muddy at the time and all this, not very clean. When we externally we see, oh, it's very dirty water. When we filled up the bottle because we wanted to carry, at home, we see that it's all full of mud. But the brahmachari with whom we travel, he mentioned that this water which you carry will not get polluted, meaning it will not become dirty even for hundreds of years if you keep it in a proper vessel. No contamination will come. In fact, in Varanasi, when Varanasi, they burn the bodies, right? And sometimes they throw the half-burnt body in the Ganga water, Ganges. They put it like that. And so many bodies are flowing like that. So people think that Ganga is getting polluted. Now there was a research which was conducted by scientists. Scientists conducted research. 10 feet under the body, they took the water and they tested in the lab. They did not find any pollution. 10 feet under the body, just under the body. Just imagine. So Ganges is very pure. But because of our external vision, we see, oh, it's getting impure. Somebody says, oh, take bath. Oh, it's so dirty. Let's go to some clean place. Taking bath in Ganga should be considered as very, very opulent and very opportune activity. We don't get that every time, isn't it?
Yeah, Prabhu, the same thing. Yeah, much.
All our sins will be destroyed. We take bath in Ganges.
Yeah.
All our sins.
Yes, all of this goes away.
So because it comes from the lotus feet of the Supreme Person.
Absolutely. Yes.
That is the lotus feet of Krishna.
But when we
So
have
what is that, Prabhu? 10 feet, you're saying that one I couldn't understand.
no, so when the dead body is burnt, the people will throw the half-burnt body in the Ganga water.
Yes.
So other think that, oh, this is now water is polluted. But if you collect the water under the body, it was tested by scientists, they did not find any pollution in that water.
Okay.
This is the purity of Ganga. But we see these as sometimes, muddy water and all those things. We think, oh, Ganga is very dirty, but it is actually not. So this is the essence of this entire work that we study today. So this is a very important thing that we should know about this particular thing. So we should avoid this kind of offenses, these kind of things in our life. So here we got some chat, but it is again going to talk about the same thing. We think that somebody is born in a different, he's not a Brahman family, so we think he's not a devotee. Right? By birth, we consider like that. So any example from Shastra, anybody would like to say about somebody who is not born in Brahman, but he's a great devotee?
Prahlad Maharaj.
Vidura Prahlad Maharaj. Yes. Our Namacharya, Haridas Thakur. He was not born Brahman. He was in a Mohammedan family, right? Krishna. And one of the things which is very, very impediment in our Krishna consciousness is about jealousy. Matsarya. When we are jealous about others, regardless of, either they are devotee, non-devotee, is not going to help us progress. Jealousy is another big impediment in our bhakti. When we see somebody is doing bhakti, we should feel happy. When somebody is serving Maharaj and we say, oh, he's getting opportunity, I'm not getting. Instead of thinking like that, we should think, oh, he's such a fortunate. Now, this vision will take time for us to come. Because when we see somebody progressing, either spiritually or materially, we feel, not very happy. But we have to develop that vision. Slowly, slowly, we have to overcome these anarthas. That's why the anartha nivritti is a very tough part in the 9 level of bhakti. If you clear that anartha nivritti, then nistha, ruchi, all this will come automatically. But anartha nivritti is a very big place. So, like we try to cultivate Krishna consciousness by becoming more devotional, doing nice bhakti and all that, equal effort should we come to eradicate these tendencies also. The fault finding tendency, having, all the 6 anartha that we talk about, we should try to avoid them. Because it is mentioned that even if we try to do nice bhakti and we go here, because of this anartha, there is a possibility of we falling down. There is a possibility of we falling down. So therefore, the essence is that we should have, we should have same vision for everybody. We may not be at the Paramhamsa stage, but we should try to develop that. Because any offenses that we do against pure devotee, either we criticize them because of their bodily defects, either we think that, oh, he's not born in a Brahmin family, so how can he be pure devotee? We have some material vision towards them. Oh, he's a devotee, but he's living so poorly, means Lord is not happy with him. There's people think, because we see the spiritual success with material success, we relate them together, but they have no connection. Materially, somebody may be very opulent, but spiritually may be very poor. And somebody is spiritually may be very, very rich, but materially he may have nothing. Like our 6 Goswami who used to live under a tree, wearing just a kopin, and they will not even live under the same tree because they will think I will have an attachment to that tree. They will go to a different tree. Like the story comes of Bhartruhari Maharaj. When Bhartruhari Maharaj was a great king, but he became sannyasi. He became sannyasi. He gave up everything. In fact, he took bhiksha from his own wife and said, "Give me." He called her mother and then he left the palace. He became sannyasi. And when he was wandering in the forest, one day he went to a river where he takes bath regularly. He goes and puts his clothes on a particular branch of a tree. And when he was putting his clothes, he saw already somebody's clothes is there. So some other sadhu was taking bath. So he said, "Oh, why are you putting your clothes on this branch? This is I put every day." And they were like quarreling. I came first. He said, "No, but I come regularly." Now this is a quarrel happening between 2 sannyasis. Just think of it.
They've given up so much.
For what? For what?
Branch.
Just branch. So one lady was carrying, the village lady was carrying water pot and she was going. He says, "Oh sadhu, you all have given up. You have so much, and you are fighting for this branch." Suddenly they got to realization. King Bhartruhari came to his senses. "Oh, what am I doing? I gave up my entire kingdom, my beautiful wife, and I'm fighting for this branch. Shame on me." So this can happen. Attachment can happen to anything like that. So this is very, very, we have to be very careful about it. Very careful about it. The small thing, but this matters a lot in bhakti. Right? And we should not advise or correct any senior sannyasis. "Oh, the pronunciation was wrong, Prabhu. I think this is what Prabhupada said, not this one." We have this tendency sometimes. He's saying wrong, he's saying like this. We sometimes think like that. When I hope you know about the story about the Juhu temple, right? The Juhu temple was being built by Srila Prabhupada. There was a person called Mr. Nair. Now he sold the land to Prabhupada, but somehow he cheated in a way that he wanted to again bring it back on he said, "I never sold you," the documented evidence and all that. So when he was trying to do that, eventually Prabhupada got the land and all those things happened. But because of that offense, he died. He died of a cancer or heart attack. He died with some disease. And Prabhupada got the news. So Prabhupada said, oh, okay. Good that he died. So the servant did not understand why Prabhupada think like this. Somebody dying, you should feel sorry about it. Why do you think he died? Why are you thinking like that? So somebody, they did not understand. But then the Mr. Nayar's wife, because now she had nobody to take care, he came to Prabhupada. And she knew that, his husband did not do very nice thing. He cheated and all. He tried to cheat Prabhupada. So she begged forgiveness that please forgive us. My husband tried to do this, but we forgive. Please forgive us. So Prabhupada blessed her and said, you are like my daughter. And Prabhupada took care of her. So now people think that, oh, he's laughing at that person who died. But actually Prabhupada had nothing like. Prabhupada only thought that he has left his body. At least now he will not commit more offenses. At least he has an opportunity to purify himself in the next life. So from that point of view, it's okay, good he left. But we will not understand why Prabhupada is saying like this. This is the problem. Therefore, we should not advise, correct any senior devotees or pure devotees. So with that, we'll come to conclusion of this verse. So we should try and develop this kind of Samadarshina tendency. At least I'm not there. I hope that one day I will reach there. But let's pray that we all come to this level of vision where we are able to see things from the eyes of Krishna, how Krishna sees things, and not from the material eyes that he has given all of us. Okay. So with that, we'll conclude. So we'll stop here and see if there is any question, correction, or any comment, any realization. Hare Krishna. Vansha-rupyasya kripa-sindhu पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटिमेश्वरविंद की जय।
Jai.
प्रभुपाद की जय। श्री रूप गोस्वामी पाद की जय। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. This is a wonderful class.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Whatever I heard from our gurus, whatever I read from Srila Prabhupada is what I'm just preaching like a parrot. So I've done no research except for putting these things in place in just light. But yeah, thank you for your kind word. I pass on all the glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the devotees whom I have heard and speaking from their classes. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
This example says, when in day-to-day life, our Krishna.
Thank you, Mata. Thank you. Hare Krishna. So we'll stop here. So if you devotees online, if you like to have prasadam, you should come on here and enjoy with all of us. Then I'm going to have a nice prasadam, now fish prasadam. So you can join us whenever you can.
Yes, Prabhu. Hope to make it soon, Prabhu.
Yes. Please join us. It will be good to see all of you in person. I know we all meet virtually every day to read Srimad Bhagavatam, but it's good to see you in person also sometimes. So thank you so much. We'll